Hey, be good to talk about the well, it's still really topical. The floods that happened, earlier in the year, and just see what how your body corporate coped with the flooding, because we obviously had the Auckland floods first.
Yep.
And then it seemed within days or a week we had the cyclone come through. So how did you guys all cope with that?
We're very fortunate. Our body corporate is very fortunate. It's in a volcanic crater.
Oh, right. Good
So
drainage.
all the water comes down,
Yeah.
and it becomes like a sink.
Mm.
And I've seen some storms. I've seen some flash flooding. It's the first time I've actually started packing the bag and started going, I'm going to consider going. Lucky it didn't get high. It sort of stopped about 50 metres away from our back fence, and we were very lucky with that. It was, definitely, as I said, you look out one side of the unit and there's water coming down the hill, and literally river coming down, and then this bowl was filling up. There was landslides. We have an EQC claim as a body corporate that on the other side, because we're basically going down a long driveway, so there's an A and a B, and I own in the B, and the A units lost their fence in a landslide, which was, as bad as it sounds, it was really fortunate that no houses got destroyed. So, very fortunate that, a bit of mud, broken fences, a bit of a hill that now needs to be retained is as bad as it is.
Is that hill your guys' land, or is it like council land, or who owns the hill? Who has to pay for the retaining?
Good question. That's something we're leaving to EQC.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I know the problem is that the owner above the owner uphill hasn't lodged an insurance claim.
Right.
So now the insurance company is chasing him to lodge a claim so they can negotiate that one. So we'll see how that goes. I know we've had discussions with that owner in the past. His theory of retaining that land was basically growing trees to put roots down, but this water went down under the roots and the trees are now sitting in the backyards of these people's units, and it's there's now a pahutakawa in the middle of this guy's backyard. As cool as it looks,
it's not meant to be there.
It wasn't meant to be there.
So when the actual floods were happening, did your neighbours and things, did you all sort of band together a wee bit and say, we need to probably think collectively here, and or was it just every man for himself, so to speak?
I had sent a few text messages out. A lot of people wanted to stay, and I have a friend who lived in the North Shore. Her house got flooded. It came up through the floor.
Oh, wow.
And when it happened, I was like, just pack your bag and go. And they're like, no, we don't want to go because it's our house. We don't want to get looted. And they wanted to stay to protect their house. And I know where we are, there was a tornado last year.
Oh.
And out in Papataui, as it went through Manukau. And, it was heavy rain. It was a lot of wind. We slept through it. And it was sort of a few hours later, the civil defence alert went out, and we sort of heard from neighbours further. We're literally a kilometre away from houses that were destroyed. That night we heard stories of people that wouldn't leave their houses for looting.